worst possible thing you could say when you walk into a car dealership. I spent 5 years with Mercedes-Benz, 5 with General Motors, and the worst thing a person could say when they walk in is, if you could just get me to this payment, we got a deal.
So your loan's probably still like 19, which means you got to pay to get out. You're upside down. It's called negative equity. Welcome to Car Shopping Questions and Answers, episode 14. I am your host, Deshone the Auto Advisor. We do these live streams throughout the day. We rebroadcast them, so you may have seen a rebroadcast, but today is our Thursday. Is it Thursday? It's Wednesday. What day is it? It's Thursday. Thank you. Our live broadcast. And we do rapid fire Q&A. We are streaming on 4 platforms: TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. So you guys can start taking your questions. Yeah, I see you real Zubir. I see you. We're live right now. And whenever you guys don't see the replay banner, that means you're watching a live show. So we do replay these broadcasts all throughout the day so that, you know, if you can't watch them all, you can tell your friends, your family. But whenever you don't see the live replay banner, that means we're live. So you guys can start typing your questions, and we'll be pulling them in from all 4 platforms. So just go to deshonsbook.com, Mr. Silver. I see you on TikTok. The people with the TikTok browser were having a problem getting the book, but some people said they were able to get it on TikTok. So just try typing deshonsbook.com into a browser, and you should be able to access it. So as you come in, start typing your questions, and we'll start getting to them. For those of you, if this is your first time ever on a live car Q&A with us, can you type the number 1? We always like to know who's the first time ever on a car shopping Q&A with us. Type the number 1. And if you have been here before, then I want you to send I want you to type welcome to the people who are first timers. Reginald, what's going on? I see you, Reginald, on YouTube. I see you flipped apart on Instagram. Sweet Major, I see you. Herman, I see you on Instagram. Real Zubir, I see you. Mr. Silver, welcome back. I see you on TikTok. If this is your first time with us, type a number 1. We welcome you. My name is Deshone the Auto Advisor. As I said, I spent 14 years in the car business from 2006 to 2020. Left after the pandemic, never went back to Mercedes, and have been teaching people who are willing to listen how to save the most money, get below market deals, guarantee their best prices, their best interest rate, their best deals, car shopping online, getting bids instead of negotiating. So it is an entirely different science, but we go deep on it here. So feel free to ask your questions, and we'll start getting to them one by one. Everything I'm going to be teaching out of in this stream is out of my new digital book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. And we're going to put a comment for you guys in the Facebook comments and in the YouTube comments. We just like to get the housekeeping done so we could get right to the show, because you know, once we get to the questions, we don't turn back. We don't stop until the hour is done. So we'll be here for about an hour. So we're posting a question now. Those of you who want the book on Instagram, it's in my bio. It's in my TikTok bio, and you can get yours for 75% off. You won't pay the normal $97 price. So let's get to it. All right. Let's see. We have Instagram. My car is out of repo and it was bad deal from jump. What can I do? Okay, so you got your car out of a repo. All you can do to get out of a car is sell it. That's it. You could sell it. Now normally you might say trade it, but we don't use the words trade here. we use the word sell it. So whenever you are, because you're not going to get the most money trading. So you want to do something we call an equity assessment. You want to find out how much you owe, call your bank. And this is the first step for everyone. If you have a car right now that you need to replace, I want you to stop thinking about trading and I want you to start thinking about getting bids on it. Okay? No matter what you have, if you have this phone right here and you said, I'm going to trade this phone for something, are you going to get the most money for the phone? Think about that. Think about that. Yes or no? And always stay close to your keyboards because we dialogue here. Okay? I ask you questions. I need you typing fast in the dialogue. If you had this phone right here and you said, I'm going to go trade this phone, that's different than you getting bids on it and seeing what's the most money somebody will pay for this phone. Okay? So that's what we do when it comes to our car buying process. So you're going to call your bank, find out what you owe, and then you're going to go to CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer. Do not use KBB.com. It's a marketing site. And all it is an algorithm. It's algorithms trying to tell you what your car is worth. We're past that day. The world we live in now, we can get offers. And that's what you want. That's all that's important is offers. So Kelly's Blue Book Instant Cash Offer, Car Guru Sell My Car, and AutoNation Sell My Car. That's 6 people who are competing to buy cars every day. And that's where you want to go. Once you go there, you'll be able to see if you have equity, means you could get out very easy. So if you owe 15, but your highest offer is 20, that's a 1-hour inspection. They'll cut you a check and you got the equity. That equity is cash money to you. You put it in your bank, you can use it as a down payment. If you have negative equity, that's a different story. You're going to need to account for that. But the first thing you must do if you are replacing a car is an equity assessment. Okay? That's step 2 in my process. After we decide leasing or buying, and I'm sure we'll be talking a lot about leasing versus buying while we're here. So, all right, let's go. Keep the questions coming and type out your entire question. Try to get it in one shot so that we can see it all. But that's your first step, the real Zubair. Do your equity assessment. If you said you owe quite a bit, you gotta do the equity assessment and get real numbers. Let's get out of the gray area. I know I owe a lot. Oh, I got some equity. Oh, I got some negative equity. Let's get hard numbers so that we can move to the next step intelligently. Okay? Car buying is all about the numbers. Oh, it's still in repo. Then see if you can get the cash to get it out. That's it. I mean, if you can't get the cash to get it out, then what are you going to do? If you've had a car repossessed, they give you some time to come redeem it. You got to come up with the cash. If you come up with the cash, then at least you have a car and you can rebuild your credit based on having a car not repoed yet, but taken, which means you've gone 90 days, past 90 days on your payments. So, but you can build from that. If the car is done, totally repoed, then that's a different story. Now you're going to need to shop for a car with a repo on your credit, and that's going to be a different way to shop. You're going to need I have a couple different ways we do it. First step, we try to get first step would be a company like Limbuzz. They'll pre-approve people with really, really challenged credit, no credit, new people to the country. But you're going to want to make sure you don't go out and overspend, because the biggest problem with people with bad credit is you're overspending in the interest and the car. And what we do is we separate the interest from the car. What does that mean? Your loan is a product. Your loan, I know here's what you've typically done. You've given the car dealers 3 transactions. And that's why you can't get good deals. When you go and trade your car into a dealer, that's a transaction. You sold them your car. That's why on that buyer's order, there's a specific part for your car. They're buying your car. That's a transaction. Another part of the transaction is you bought a car from them. That's a different transaction. And then if you got your loan from them, that's a third transaction. So there's no way to get a good deal when you're giving dealers 3 transactions or 2 transactions and you haven't gotten bids for either. Break this down a little bit more before we go to the next question. There are companies that want to lend you money. They don't sell cars. That means they're willing to compete against other companies that want to lend you money. That means if this company is giving you an 8% interest rate, this one might give you a 7% interest rate, this one might give you a 6.2% interest rate. They're willing to compete. You need to bid that out. You need to bid that out. See, the only way we have price guarantees, what's going on, Trini, man? Good to see you. The only way we get price guarantees is by bidding our business out. So there's companies that only want to buy your car from you. Those are the companies I named like 5 minutes ago during our equity assessment. They don't even sell, they're not interested in selling your car. They like to, but they're also interested, hey, we just want to buy your car. Even if we can't sell you one, we'll buy yours from you. You should be bidding that out. Type $ if you're clear on that. And then when you buy your car, you're bidding that out. So when people with bad credit usually go and don't have a strategy like the one I'm telling you, you're going to go and overpay because you're mixing the loan with the car. You're going to a dealer saying, hey, I like that car, get me approved. So you didn't even get a bid to find out, was that the lowest price car? Because some people think all dealers' prices are the same. They're actually all different. And look, only you know, but I know, I've been doing this long enough to know there are people who've been taught every Nissan dealer is the same price. That's why they'll come home and say, man, Nissan doesn't have good deals right now. No, one Nissan dealer didn't. So you have to, when you're shopping for used cars, you want to be looking at all the inventory to see who has the best price used car. Then you would use a company like LendBuzz, like I mentioned, who approves people with bad credit, no credit, new to the country, because at least you know you got a great price on the car. See, if I'm going to pay 20% interest because I just had a repo, that's between me and my lender. Do we understand? Most times when you have bad credit, it's between you, the dealership, and everyone else in the dealership. They know you have bad credit because you've been there for 10 hours. How'd you get here at 9 a.m. with me? We both walked in the door and I left at 12 and you still sitting in the waiting room hoping they get you approved. Everyone in the dealership knows you have bad credit. That's the way it is when you're mixing the credit and the car and you have bad credit. So what you need to do is be doing what I'm telling you, shopping for your car, finding the best price car, and then trying your best to find a company. You can try LendBuzz, as I said. But if you're overpaying for the car, if you're just walking into a dealership that you like, oh, I like that, and you think you're going to just have a good time getting approved, you got to understand, you could overpay by $3,000-$4,000 for the car itself, and then you're going to pay 20%, and you're just burying yourself. And that's what most people are going to do, unfortunately. That's not what I want you to do. Okay? So we'll talk more about our online shopping system, new car. I'm sure as we go through more questions on the stream, we'll go more deep into our online shopping system. But that I need to give you, if you have bad credit, challenge credit, repo, you need to have an overview of what your plan should look like, and that's what it is. Shout out to the people running the likes up on TikTok. Appreciate y'all. If you could tap the screen every couple minutes, if you're getting value so far, tap the screen. All right, let's go to, I see you, Uncle Hassan on TikTok. Let's go to you and type your questions, y'all. We're going to try to get to as many as possible. 23 Outback Wilderness, 9,000 miles, certified pre-owned. Should I get a warranty and what would be a good price? Well, you bid out the warranty. Multiple dealers. You call another Subaru finance manager. Hey, I got this 2023 Subaru Outback. I just got it. What could you give me? Can you give me your price on the warranty? You bid that out too. Now, that's the only way to know a good price. See, any question, what would be a good price? Only bids answer that. Now, if you try to answer it your old way, you'll have no price assurance. That means you don't know it's a good price. You're just hoping. And I'm not hoping. Nobody who's learning from me, no one who I show you in these shows, if you're going to do well, you're not going to hope anymore. Hope is not a strategy. I hope I didn't overpay. I hope that was a good price. I hope I got enough for my old car. I hope I got a good interest rate. You understand? That's actually a little buyer's remorse. And we eliminate that. And the way we eliminate it is through bids. So, should you get the warranty? Let's talk about that. So here's an extended warranty question. Uncle Hack from TikTok is asking, should he get the extended warranty on this vehicle? So here's what it comes down to. How expensive, how likely is it that things will go wrong with the car? And how expensive are they when they go wrong? Because all an extended warranty is an insurance product. It's an insurance product, which means you could pay $2,000 and not use it. Just like auto insurance, right? We pay for it every month. Sometimes, most times, if God bless us, we don't use it. There's no accidents. There's no reason for us to use it. So with an extended warranty, you're trying to measure your risk and say, okay, what's the likelihood of me using this? And I got to use it enough to get all my money back and more. So if the warranty costs me $2,000, I don't want to just get $2,000 in value back, because if that's the case, I could have just, not paid for the warranty. So does the car have a high repair cost? You want to go to Google and type in Subaru Outback, the vehicle you got, repair costs. This is something that we do when we're considering extended warranties. This is step 6 of my process. Sounds like you already got your car. You've already locked up your deal. So this will fall under the paperwork and protection phase. My book is 7 steps. Step 6 is paperwork and protection right before delivery. These are the things we're trying to see. Do they make sense for us to get based on our situation? So with the car, if you see that Subaru you're getting has a high likelihood of repairs and a high expensive repair cost, then you may want to go ahead and get the extended warranty. Now, if you see that the repair cost on that is low, and you could just, again, type in repair. And also, I hope you try to type in longevity. But longevity is something that's above and beyond repair costs, because longevity is when we're looking 100,000 miles, 150,000 miles. What are people saying about these cars? So the repair costs are more over the next 3, 4, 5 years. What is it going to look like? So if you see that this vehicle has higher than normal repair costs, then you may want to go ahead and get the warranty. But if not, then you may want to just keep that $2,000 or whatever you would spend. So, that's all of it. A Mercedes, when people were buying Mercedes from me, I told them buy as much warranty as you could afford, because I knew it's good money. If you spend $4,000 on a Mercedes warranty and it covers you for 3, 4 years, good money spent. Because when something breaks on a Mercedes, on a Range Rover, on a BMW, on a Cadillac, sometimes it's thousands to fix. So one repair on that vehicle could cover the cost of the warranty. But there are other vehicles on the other side of the spectrum: Honda, Toyota, Lexus. There are plenty of vehicles on the other side. Mazda does well. So you want to see where your vehicle is, where your specific vehicle is, and that's how we're assessing our risk. Everything we're doing with an extended warranty is a risk. It's a risk assessment. There's no hard rules, no hard yes. It's literally just trying to assess your risk and making the best choice you can. Okay, Peter, what's going on? Peter from TikTok. 2022 Pacifica, 51,000 miles. Didn't get the extended warranty. Should I try to move the car, keep it long? 2022, I'm guessing it's not a 2022. Are you saying it's a 2022? Did you type that correctly? I didn't even know Chrysler was still making the Pacificas. Listen, there's a hard rule, y'all. Look, who knows what this is? One word if you've seen this before. One word if you've seen this before, you got a free copy of my book. Who knows what it is when I do this? Let me see who's the first person that's going to say. Hold on. Because I know most of you are first timers. If you're a first timer here, type the number 1. But if you know what this is when I pull this out, one word. Come on, Elite. All right. I'm not going to butcher your name. But yes, you got it. Elutrio. Depreciation. Depreciation. So I want you to send me an email. If you're on my email list, I think you are because you got the notification of the broadcast. Send me an email, and we'll need your email. We'll send you a free copy of my digital book, Cars from Home: 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships, because you're on point. This is depreciation. Whenever we think about replacing a car, this is how we have to think about it. Am I replacing a car when it's losing or lost its most value? This is what people usually do. You buy a car for $30,000, you bring it back the next day, it's worth 24,000, 26,000. You're like, wait, how did I lose that much money in one day? That's what it is. The car's been titled. It's no longer worth what you just paid for it. So, and the more you overpay, the more you lose, because it doesn't change. If you overpay because you don't have any strategy and you end up paying 33, that car's still worth 26. That car's still worth 25, whatever it was going to be. But a year later, you buy a car for 30,000. What's it worth a year later? What's it worth? What if you buy a car right now for 30,000? What's that car worth 1 year later? Average miles. So we're answering Peter's question because he's asking, should he be replacing his car? And then every one of you who are not keeping your cars 8 years, you need to be thinking like this, because I'm about to show you that you're losing a lot of money by not leasing. Thousands of dollars. Okay. I don't think it's worth 10,000, Ken. You buy a car for 30,000, a year later it's probably worth 22 with average miles, 23 with average miles driven. That's the unseen expense. That's depreciation. Goes down like this. So you lose big percentages of your car's value every year in the form of equity. So whatever your car was worth today, a year from now, if you just recently bought it, you're going to lose a large percentage of the value. This is why when people say, and you might have said it, well, I don't lease because I like to drive as much as I want. I don't want to pay for the mile. Well, first of all, you can lease up to like 30,000 miles a year. Second of all, you pay for the miles whether you drive the car or not when you buy. Well, let's go deep on this. If you park a car outside your house right now and you leave it there for 1 year, never drive it, you come back a year later, it's not worth what it was, right? 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 Right or right? Okay, I want to make sure y'all following this, because everyone who hasn't seen this lesson on depreciation, you need to burn this into your brain. It's very simple. It's a high school kid could understand what we're about to go over. So a car that you bought for 30,000 this year is going to be worth 23,000 next year with average miles, and then it's going to be worth 18,000 the next year, and then it's going to be worth 16,000 the third year, and then it's going to be worth 14,000 the fifth year. It's going to keep going down, but there's going to come a point in time where it's no longer losing that much money. Who has a car outside right now? If you've had it for at least 8 years, tell me how many years you've had it outside right now. Type the number of years, not if you've had it for at least 8 years. Because I want to let Peter know that if he's not keeping his car for at least 8 years, he should be leasing. He should be shopping for great lease deals, not great purchase deals. And there's no way for you to get a great deal if you purchase when you should have leased. It's no way. And I'm going to show you that too. Okay, so tell me, let me know. Let me see. How many years have you had the car outside? So Al, I see you've had it for 14 years. Let me know. Who's had a car outside? Tell me the number of years. Greg, I see you, 5 years. Shakita, I said more than 10. Gigi Sweet Treats, I see you on Instagram, 9 years. Jose, 20 years. Okay, Jose on TikTok with the 20-year car outside. Helen, 10 years. Sprice on Instagram, 12 years. Okay, this is what you got to understand. All these people that you're hearing answer, if you are like not an 8-year, 10-year, 12-year, 20-year person, they're not like this with their depreciation anymore. They're like this. What does that mean? The same amount their car is worth today, a year from now, it's going to be worth about that. If their car is worth $7,000 today, it's going to be worth probably $6,500 a year from now, $6,600, $6,700. This is the only benefit of purchasing compared to shopping for great lease deals. So if what you're doing, you heard me 3 minutes ago talk about the money you're losing when you buy these cars in the short term, 10,000. You're losing thousands, 5,000 this year, 3,000 this year, 20. So if you replace the car in that cycle, you've just lost tons of money because you're literally replacing the car in the biggest depreciation phase. And I always say cash buyers never do this. The only people that do this, unfortunately, are people with a monthly payment. Because what you're doing is you haven't clearly see, what I'm showing you is the value of the asset, the value of the car. The value of the car isn't your loan. The amount you pay for it isn't your loan. That isn't the value of the asset. The asset is what's losing value every year. That's why some of you, when you high mileage drivers, if you're a high mileage driver, type HM. If you're a high mileage driver, type HM. You'll see that the asset loses, but your loan, you get a regular loan, but here's what you're doing. Because you're driving so much, you're destroying the asset's value. Instead of you losing three grand like the average driver, you put 20,000 miles on your car, you lose 6 grand. Then you lose 6 grand. Then you lose 3 grand. So your car is worthless because you're the asset, but the loan is the same. The loan may be the same as a regular person. So you have to distinguish this. This is what you should be thinking about. And in the 2 year, anytime you get into the mood of replacing a car in 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years or 6, this is what you should be thinking about. I'm replacing my car. Some people will pay off their car, take a 6-year loan, pay off their car, and then go trade the car in and do it again with another car. Soon as they pay off the car, just go get another 6-year loan, pay it off, replace it, just vicious cycle of money being thrown away. So you saw the first way to avoid that depreciation cycle. I just laid out with long-term ownership. You saw the people, 8 years, 10 years, Jose, 20 years on TikTok. This is all long-term ownership, avoiding depreciation. Here's the other way, great lease deals. Not average lease deals, not commercials that you see saying, hey, come lease this car, $400 a month with 4 grand down, plus tax and fee. No, great lease deals. Great lease deals look like this. Great lease deals are never advertised. This is Danielle. Look, Audi A3, got bids, $44,000 vehicle, $550 a month. No money out of pocket. $44,000 vehicle. Now, some of you know every $5,000 on a loan is about how much per month. I'm talking to the people that's been here, but some of you might have saw it in my social media videos too. Every $5,000 on a loan is how much per month. Thank you. Okay, dang, Eleuterio, you are totally on point. It's $100 on a 5-year loan. On a 5-year loan, so when you look at a car and you see $20,000, automatically in your mind should be that's about $400 a month. You should automatically default. I want you order. Some people say, Deshone, well, what if I want a 6-year loan? Well, let that be the backup. Don't default to a 6-year loan. Default to a 5-year loan. Because if you get a 5-year loan, you spend less money than if you get a 6-year loan. So default to a 5-year loan. When you look at a $20,000 car, say to yourself, it's about $400 a month. You look at a $40,000 car, it's about $800 a month. Because I remember every 5,000 is about, we all assuming money down. No money down. We all assuming no money down. Every 5,000 you borrow on the loan is about $100 a month, depending on the interest rate. So this same car that Danielle is leasing for $550, somebody is paying $800-900 a month for it right now. got the same deal she got, except they purchased and she leased. This is what you should be shopping for. Let's look at Benita. Now let's do something with a price. Look at Charles, $48,000 Hyundai Palisade. He leased it, got his bids. Because I know some of you looking saying, yo, how do you get these deals? These don't look like the commercials. No, we use a different system, a bidding system. That's how we get these deals. When you have 5 dealers competing to get you offered, this is the deals you're going to start getting too. When you go into one dealer and go back and forth, 80% of dealers are overpriced, so you're not going to see these numbers. You got to sit at home and bid and let these dealers come to you. But look, he's paying $597,000, $48,000 Hyundai Palisade. That same vehicle, no money down, it's rounded up to 50,000. That's almost $1,000 a month for 5 years. Even if somebody took a 6-year loan on it, there's people right now probably watching this. You got a Palisade, no money down. You're paying $900 a month. So this is, look, he's paying $597,000. So when we start, and I'll share more as we go into more questions. When you look at what I just told y'all, I told y'all this is the danger zone right here. You want to be over here 8 years or more, or you want to be over here shopping for great lease deals. You don't want to be purchasing, owning cars, replacing cars in this period, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. You are losing the most through depreciation. And somebody who's leasing is just really keeping thousands of dollars more in their household, driving better cars than you, because they're not putting the kind of money into a car you're putting in. They're only paying their little monthly payment, driving brand new cars, and paying a small amount for their usage. The people over here that have kept their car 8, 9, 10 years, they're keeping thousands in their household because they paid off their cars. Now their car's no longer depreciating, and they can just do what they want with it, have it in their household, and they've won. You in the middle are the ones that's losing, and you got to get out the middle. That's what I'm trying to tell you. It's the cute face, the mileage you pay for no matter what. Cute face on TikTok said the mileage though. You see, the problem is you've heard people who got a 10,000 mile a year lease knowing they should have got a 15,000 mile a year lease. Let's really get to it. People, I've watched them, I don't know why, go in knowing they drive 15,000 miles per year, but yet they sign a 10-year lease, a 10,000 mile a year lease. It's the most, you want to not enjoy, you want to mess up your lease, then they blame the lease. I'm not saying this is you. If you drive 18,000 miles a year, you get an 18,000 mile a year lease. I had a guy come in, some of you know the story, when I was a manager at Hyundai for a couple weeks. Wasn't for me. I left after 6 weeks, but I got a chance to see something there I'll never forget. Guy came in, he was returning his lease, and I was helping him do the paperwork. I said, I looked at his mileage. He had like 72,000 miles on it. I said, you leased this? He said, yeah, I'm in sales. That's all I do is lease. I said, oh, that's crazy. He said, yeah, I drive like 25,000 miles a year. I pay my lease payment. I bring that car back every 3 years. I just get a new one. I said, wow. Because I know what he was, I knew what he was avoiding, because I've had people come in, that kind of mileage on their cars worthless. They still owe a ton of money, 10 grand, 12 grand, negative equity all the time. So their car's worth 10, but they owe 20 on it because the mileage, it has 120,000 miles. It's ridiculous. I see it all the time. So when I went and I did his paperwork, I saw he was only paying like $150, $175 a month more than a normal Hyundai Sonata. So if a normal Hyundai Sonata was leasing for $350, he was only paying like $525 or whatever it was, whatever the number was. It was less than $200 more for him to drive as much as he wanted to drive. So it makes no sense to literally get buried in negative equity because, I'm going to buy my car. It changed my perspective. That's when I started telling my high mileage clients about high mileage leases, because you pay for that's what you got to understand. You pay for the mileage whether you buy or lease. If you lease, you are trying to make your deal upfront for the usage. If you buy and you drive 25,000 miles a year, look, this is the normal driver. This is the normal driver. This is the high mileage driver's vehicle value. So that car was worth 40, but you put 75,000 miles on it in 3 years. Now the car is worth 20. You killed $20,000 of value in 3 years because you're a high mileage driver. So you pay for it. That's why I call this the unseen expense. Depreciation is the unseen expense. And those who want to win, you need to account for it. You need to base your vehicle purchases off of it. If you are a short-term person, 3, 4, see, we've heard that term, right? Depreciating asset. What does that mean? The last 10, 15 minutes, I've clearly told you this is what that means. It doesn't mean, oh, it just goes down in value. That means if you are buying an asset that goes down in value, whether you use it or not, and the more you use it, the more it goes down in value, then you need to plan your purchase of it accordingly based on how long you're going to keep it. But I'm also telling you that the depreciating asset eventually stops depreciating a lot. That's the people we talked about 10 minutes ago. 8-year, 10-year, 12-year people. Eventually, the depreciating asset stops depreciating a lot. You want to make sure that is your reward. Come on. If you get value out of this, type dollar signs, because that's gems. If you understand that my only purpose in buying a depreciating asset is to get to a point where it's not depreciating that much anymore, and that is my reward for paying all that money. That's my reward. I paid all that money to own this car, but it's paid off now. Now, here we go. It's not depreciating that much no more. I can keep it. And hopefully, I'm going to keep this thing till one day it doesn't drive. That is the purpose of a purchase. There's no other benefit. Everything else, if you like Deshone, no way I'm keeping the car 8, 10, 12 years. You should be shopping for great lease deals. It's not even a question. Not even a question. All right. We had to go deep on that. So Peter, let that be your guide. Everything I'm teaching you guys, this is in my book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's a digital book. I have a link in the comments for you guys. I have the banner up here so you guys can scan it. If you're watching us on TV, you can scan it and you can get your book for 75% off. It's normally $97, but part of our launch, our welcome offer, everybody, you can get yours for $24, but you only got 30 minutes. Once you visit that site, deshonesbook.com, that timer starts ticking, and once it gets down to 0, price goes back up to $97. So get your book, and yes, YHLDQ. All right, you got a lot of letters in your name on TikTok. Bravo, there you go. Plan properly, execute as such. There we go. There we go, Carla. See, you're getting it. Depreciation is the unseen expense. Yes, yes, yes. I love it. It's clicking. All right, let me go back to Instagram. Let's see if we got any questions on Instagram. Hold on. Type your questions on Instagram. Let me pull another one in from, hold on. Let me pull another one in here. Hold on. Claudia. I bought your book. When calculating offers on your calculator, do you put the initial MSRP or the MSRP with the added fees and the cost? Always the MSRP. Always the real MSRP. I don't care if a dealer has added costs. When we're comparing offers, we are only comparing other, because every dealer doesn't have those fees. So you're trying to you're trying to gauge value. So always use the real MSRP. And y'all know that I share this a lot on the show lately, just so you guys know, because it can be confusing. Whenever you see the MSRP on a window sticker, if you're shopping your lease deals the way we teach you to shop them, this is the total MSRP right here. It's the total MSRP right there. If they have a little addendum over here with some added numbers to it, that's not what we're using to calculate when we divide our monthly payments into the MSRP, and that's how we get the 1% lease deals, or the because everything we use to calculate great lease deals is based off of the 1% lease deal rule, which has been around probably longer than all of us. The 1% lease deal rule said if your lease payment was 1% of the MSRP with no money down, 12,000 miles per year, you got to steal. So everything we do from that is gauging, 1% and under is a steal. Between 1% and 1.5% is a deal. And above 1.5%, we don't take those. It's too high. You're paying too much money for a car you're giving back. But we don't go in. We don't go in saying, hey, get me under 1.5%. We get bids because all these people that you see, Danielle got a 1.2% lease. Bonita, Charles on his Palisade. My God, some of you saw Kimberly's deal. She got under 1% on her new Maserati, 1.09%. Frina got her Jeep. Look, 0.88%, staying $579 a month, $65,000 MSRP on her Jeep. This didn't, if they would have went in targeting, hey, yeah, get me here, then they would have lost. If they would have said, man, get me to 1.2%, they would have lost. You get bids, you get 5 offers, because 4 are going to be overpriced in most cases. 80% of dealers are overpriced. That's the data we've seen. And then you let the bottom of the market reveal itself to you. Okay, we don't know what we're going to say. We don't know how much money we're going to save off a car. We don't know until we get those bids, and then the bottom reveals itself. So we're never fishing for the bottom. We're getting bids and revealing the bottom. Okay, Rev Michael Dancy, what's up? I'm waiting for the 2025 miles to come in so I can capitalize on the 2024. That's cool if they're still around, for certain. Yeah, but make sure that you compare, because you want to have enough 2024s to get bids. You want to have, a lot of times, if there's a lot of leftovers, then you could do well. If there's not too many leftovers, sometimes the only ones that are left over are the ones with all the equipment. Like whenever we had the leftovers, the ones that were the most popular, they sold quick. But the ones that were left over, they sold, all the ones that had a bunch of equipment packages that weren't really popular, those were the ones that were left over. But it's different now. Inventory is back. A lot of dealers have tons of inventory now. So that could be a good strategy. But I like the idea of being in the market 3 months before you need a car. And then, being positioned so when a dealership needs a car, a sell desperately, you're the one they call. Because most people, Michael, they're going into dealerships and they need a car today, this week, maybe this month, latest. That's most people. So they're not going to be able to be positioned, unfortunately. That's why I don't want you emergency shopping anymore. I'm talking to everyone. When you're using a bidding system, you're reaching out, you're contacting multiple dealers. I have a system in my book, I call it the 25 to 5. This is for new cars and leases, 25 to 5. So we're creating contact with 25 dealers on their website, telling them what we want. We do this in 20 minutes, literally 20 minutes, because I also have, things you copy and paste in there to make it quicker. But once you do this, now what you're doing is you're seeing who has a car, and then you're sending a template to request a quote, and then we say out of 25 dealers, we're going to get 5 quotes, at least 5 to 7. If we don't like those quotes, we've already told them in our initial email when our deadline is. This is important. This isn't information we hold back. We say, hey, I could buy a car today. Whenever we reach out, we always say, this is built into my template. This is something you want to say. When you reach out today, I could buy a car today. That lets them know you're a serious buyer. But I don't need a car until this day. We call that our no later than day. Why that's important? Because a dealer's mind is about today. So when we say I can buy a car, I can make a deal today, it gets them excited. Oh, I got a serious buyer on my hands. But when we say, hey, but I don't need a car until end of the summer. I don't need a car until winter. I don't need a car until such and such. Now that's a takeaway. That's a psychological takeaway. So it makes them want the business more, but they know, okay, I got all these people in my showroom now. Let me handle them. But this guy, Charles, this guy, Michael, this woman, Medina, I know she's a real buyer. So I'm going to search and see what I got coming. Maybe I got a car coming in 6 weeks. Hey, Medina, I got this car coming in 6 weeks. It'll be here by the end of next month. Are you open to that if I were? Absolutely. So you have more inventory to shop from than a person today. So if you have a car and you need a car this week, understandable. I have the best bidding system in the world. My book will walk you through it step by step to get below market deals quickly. I don't really trust you to go out and get a great below market deal using no strategy if you have to get a car in a matter of days. But if you have time, time is a luxury. Time is an asset. Time is something you should be shopping 3 months before you need a car because deals change every month. Every month programs change. Used cars, pricing trends change. You can see the prices go down. You can see them go up. There's advantages to having time. You could also, when we shop for used cars, our best deals aren't when we go to the marketplaces, Auto Trader, Car Gurus, all of these marketplaces we shop on. They're not there. We look at the market and we create accounts. Why? Because once we put in what we're searching for, we get alerts of new inventory. Watch this. I can't teach you. You can't get a below market deal. Dad, y'all running the likes up on TikTok. Shout out to the people tapping the screen. See y'all. Appreciate y'all. You can't get the first step to getting a below market deal is you got to know what the market is. Because most people are paying market value or above. That's a $3,000 to $5,000 price increase. $3,000 to $5,000 from average market value to above market value. That's what most people are paying with no strategy. Because if everyone was getting below market deals, they wouldn't be below market deals. They'd be average deals. So now the people with strategy that I'm teaching you, the stuff that you're learning, you need to see those above market offers so that you know you're paying below market. Okay? So with a used car, I need to see the low side of the used car market on all these marketplaces. I need to have alerts on so that every single car that pops up, soon as it hits the marketplace, I get a notification of it. Because no one else is going to know the market on this car like you will. Once I walk you through this, once you follow these simple steps and not just winging it, you look at the market. We always sort from lowest to highest price. This is what I did with my Infinity truck I bought a little while ago. And I saw what the lowest prices was, and then I turned on the alerts. So I turned on the alerts. But I saw when I got mine, I didn't need to wait for the alerts because I saw a deal so good, I just jumped on it because I saw it literally in 48 hours. I narrowed it down to my top 4, and it was one deal that was so good. But it's a multi-step process. So the point is, new cars and leases, we see below market. The only way to get below market prices is to have 4 or 5 or 6 higher offers. That means you got the below market because I had 4 or 5 or 6 higher offers than the one I accepted. On a used car, I need to see other used cars that are priced $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 more than the one I ended up getting. Because that's the way it is all the time. And as long as you hold to these rules, you'll understand this is my target. Okay? You only do this once. Once you learn this process, y'all, it's rinse and repeat too. It's harder the first time because this is my first time. I didn't even know I needed a strategy to shop for a car. But now you see, if I want to save thousands of dollars, get below market deals, I need a strategy. But once you do it, that's why I can do it in my sleep because I've done this 10, 15 times for myself. I've done it for other people, and I've taught a lot of people to do it. Trust me when I tell you, this is not rocket science right here. Tiffany got my book, and she wrote me, she just saved $6,300, $6,500 off her 2024 Mazda she just got. So, but it's a mindset. Bigger than the techniques. Let's get back to the questions. But bigger than the questions is your mindset set up and focused on below market deals and bids? That's if I had to narrow it down to 2 things, below market deals and bids. And I throw one more in there. Well, which is really bids. Don't talk numbers in the dealership. Everything happens at home. All right. Let's go. Let's go back to the questions. All right. Queens Medina says, so it's not a whole lot of Mazda dealerships in the area for competition. Go wider. Go wider. Go on the website, put your zip code in, go wider. Look, you don't think the dealers know that in your area? So if a dealer knows it's only 6 miles of dealers within a 30-mile radius, you don't think they know that? Not gonna get aggressive. They don't expect someone to drive 100 miles to go get their Mazda. Shonda was getting a Volvo a year ago. I remember this young lady. She was in my, and anyone who wants to know more about my actual video program, my coaching program, you can go to my bio after. Sometime you can attend my free masterclass, Everything You're Doing Wrong, Buying, Selling, and Leasing Cars. That's a 1-hour class. We go very deep, but I got slides, leasing versus buying, very deep. And, but she's in my program. So, but the steps are the same. See, my program, 7 steps. My book, 7 steps. Same thing. Just get in where you fit in. So she said she's in Northern California. She said, Deshone, she said, I'm shopping for this Volvo. No dealer in Northern California came close to this dealer in Southern California. They're saving me like $3,000 above my best deal I got so far. So she had some discounts already. I think her biggest discount was like $3,000. And this dealer was willing to do like $6,000 with all the rebates below MSRP. I said, so what are you gonna do? She said, I just got a plane ticket. It was $70-something. I said, that's what I would do. I would be on a plane, going to pick up my new car, knowing that this $75 just saved me $3,000 on a plane ticket. We gotta be willing to go wide, and that's the science of shopping from home. We don't care. Sean saved $20,000 on his F-150 truck. Some of you saw him. So if you're new to the show, you've never seen him. But F-150 Lightning XLT, $73,000 truck. He saved, 15.5 plus 49, a little over $20,000, $20,500. But one thing he said, which is important, I said, is this the best offer? Because listen, I didn't know. Could have been more. We could have got more. I said, I haven't seen the other offers yet, but I'm assuming you got at least 5. You're saving over $20,000 on this with the discount and rebate. But the only way to know that this is the best deal is to compare to the other offers. Is this the lowest? If so, slam dunk. He said, guess I could have put a little more info. Yes, I got about 15 quotes. Couldn't find anything under MSRP. Follow me. He said, I expanded my search to 150 miles outside my area to find this deal. I'm going to another state to pick this up, which is something I never would have thought of before. You think he cares about shopping across state lines anymore? You think you get what I'm saying? So it's a program way to shop that makes the dealers money. And in order for you to save all the money, you now have to step out of that program and let everybody else run that old way. Let everybody else go in and go back and forth with one dealer and think they won. Let everybody else do that. You are going to break away from that, and you're going to sit at your house and you're going to use a computer or phone, and you're going to have these dealers bidding, and you're going to see the most money you've ever saved in your life, and you're going to have price assurance, guarantees. I always say, if I ask you when you get your car, hey, bet me $500 I can't get a better price than you just got right now. Most of you would say no, but Sean would say, man, bet me. Let's go. If you find a truck more than what I just got, anyone who's using a bid, when you get your bids and that's the deal you accept, Tiffany, when she just got her Mazda, she got bids. If I was to bet her, she said, yeah, I'll take that bet. Because I know I saw a lot of offers. I know I did 25 dealers. I know you ain't going to find something better than what I got. And that's what I like. That's what I want for you. Okay? So forget about your area, Queen Medina. Just bought your book. Awesome. True Southern Girl on YouTube. Enjoy it. Use it. And everybody do like what Tiffany did. When you get your deals, write me, email me, so that we can bring them onto the show. Okay? I don't know why my live just ended on TikTok. Hold on. Why did my live just end out of nowhere on TikTok? Hold on. Let's get TikTok back. Technology sometimes. All right. That's coming back. So, all right, let's go to Instagram for a question. Let's see. Are y'all typing questions on Instagram? I see a lot of people, but I don't see a lot of questions. No. All right, let's go back to YouTube. Instagram, type your questions. I don't see your questions here. So, I'm looking at Elite Travels. I'm looking at, why is it saying my internet connection? Okay. All right, we're gonna let TikTok do what it's doing right now. I'm looking at a Lexus IS 350, fully loaded, monthly payment 710, zero down, car worth 51,000. You don't know if you can't tell me that dealer you are buying from beat at least 5 other dealers. Hold on. Hold on one second. Okay, let's get back here. Okay, so you have a price on this car. Now, the only way I'm gonna tell you, just like I said to Sean, I don't care what. Now you're going into monthly payments. You're not talking about the price of the car. The price of the car is what you should be separating from the monthly payments. Until you know that you have the car, the best dealer, one, beat all their other competition and has agreed to sell you. I don't know what happened, TikTok. So come on back in. We got blocked out for a second. That's all that matters. You're putting the cart way before the horse and you're mixing 2 transactions. You're giving the dealer your loan and you're looking at the car. If you didn't bid these 2 things out, there's no way for you to get a good deal. There's no way for you to get a good deal. Because you will never have price assurance. You'll have buyer remorse. You're wondering, did I get a good interest rate? Did I get a good price? So the first thing you have to do is get 5 offers on this Lexus. Forget about the monthly payment. I'm looking for a Lexus IS 350 fully loaded. If you're going to use my way, we're going on the dealer's websites, 25 to 5 in my book, $24 in the comment section. If you're going to do it your way, you're at least going to call, speak to 5 Lexus dealers. You can ask for the sales managers. You're going to get 5 offers, and you're going to compare and find the dealer who's going to sell you the Lexus at the lowest price. And then here comes your loan. Then you come home and you would do what we call the bank bidding war. So we have a process we do where we let an almost unlimited number of people run our credit so that we can bid out our loan. I said earlier in the show, there's people who they don't sell cars, they just want to lend you money. There's a lot of money in loans. $50,000 car, 1 point on the interest rate is probably $1,500. 1 point. Might be even more than that, quite honestly. 1 point. So that means if you end up with a 7.29 interest rate, but you could have got a 6.29 interest rate, that's probably $1,500 at least. God forbid, 2 points. 2 points. So we take the shopping of our loan just as serious as we take the shopping of our car, but we separate them. And so when you come home, after you seal your deal with the best dealer, you reserve the car, say, hey, great, we already got my business. You got the business. I'm now going to get my loan. I'll call you tomorrow. Then we come and we start the bank bidding war. Well, we started before this, but this is round 2 of it. We come home and we call our bank, we call our credit union, we go online, let all the online lenders access our credit. Who's going to give me the best loan for this Lexus that I'm about to pick up tomorrow or the next day? Now, out of all of those people competing, we take the best loan and then we call the dealer and say, hey, this is the best loan I got. If you guys can beat it, I'll give the business to you. That's the bank bidding war, because the dealer has another 5, 7, 10, 15 banks that he gives a lot of business to every month that he wants to see if he can beat that and earn your business on the loan. You want people fighting for your business. Everything is a fight. Everything is a fight. So that's what you want. All right. There you go. It's the biggest thing. I used to call these the 3 pillars of great car deals. Who you buy your car from, who you lease, who you buy your car from, who you get your loan from, who you sell your old car to. You have to bid out each one. And that's how you guarantee you got the best deal. You can't give the dealer all three of these and you just work this out for me. No, it's too much money in each of those transactions. And once you do this, you'll see it's easy. Nothing I'm telling you is hard. All right? Nothing that I'm telling you is hard. All right? Vince, I see you. Wait, did we get any questions on Instagram yet? Okay, hold on. Let me see. Because I said I'd go to Instagram next, and then I got you. Looking to purchase a mobile grooming van. Can these steps be used for that? Certainly. Certainly. Only thing I would tell you with a business is make sure that your loan, well, you're not a high mileage driver, so absolutely. Anything where you're purchasing a vehicle, new, used, lease, I'm the best resource in the world. I would put my strategies up against it. And not only that, I put anyone who learned from me. I put Benita up against anybody. I put Charles up against anybody. I put Kimberly against anybody. I put Eddie against anybody. I put Danielle against anybody. I put Frina against anybody. I put Pierre against anybody. I put any. So I don't, yeah, of course. You're like, yeah, Deshone, of course you could find a better deal than me. I put anyone who's using my stuff. Tiffany just got my book and just used it and got her Mazda. I put her up against anybody. Because once you learn to get bids, it's a science. Once you learn, you're going to get better deals than anyone who's not getting bids. Always. Because you're going to talk to the same dealers they're talking to, and you're going to talk to a lot more other dealers than them faster than them. So the name of the game is bids. So for all of you who just jumped on, everything I'm teaching is out of my new book, Cars from Home. 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealers. You can get your copy for 75% off. It's normally $97, but you can get it for $24 for 30 minutes. When you go and visit my website, deshonesbook.com, and once that timer hits 0, though, it goes back up to $97. So you can get it in the comment section on YouTube or Facebook, or in my Instagram or TikTok bios. I have a website there. You click the website and then click the button for the book. All right? $97 is still a great price. I just couldn't price my book the same as everyone else's. I mean, I can't price my book the same as daggone novels. Shout out to the people who write novels, but I knew this is going to be a financially life-changing book for the people who use it. I just said, okay, but we do a special. So it's normally $97, but we do a special. What websites do you use to get bids? Great question, Drive Greens, Ride Harley, Instagram. New cars, we're going straight to the dealer's website. We're connecting with 25 dealers in 25 minutes, copy and paste, sending all of what we want. Then we're getting the bids from the dealers' websites. All our communications is done through email, and we always set up a separate email. We never mix personal email, business email with cars, because we're talking to too many dealers at once, keeping our conversations organized. We cannot do it mixing personal and emails. We also get a Google Voice, so that we don't have to take phone calls, because there's no talking in our system to car salesmen. There's no talking. So there's no reason for us to be on the phone with a car salesman, talking numbers. We don't do it. So those of you who like Deshone, I like that. I don't like to talk. I don't want to talk to car salesmen. You're going to love this. All right. So if you're watching us on TV, you can scan that QR code to get your book as well. On a used car, though, we are on the marketplaces. See, my used car strategy is called the multiple marketplace strategy. It's different than our new car strategy. The multiple marketplace strategy is for is when you're going everywhere used cars are. You're going to cars.com, Carfax, Auto Trader, Car Gurus, Driveway, Carvana, CarMax, eBay Motors. And then we're narrowing down from there. I spoke a little bit about that earlier in the stream. So it's 2 totally different systems, 2 totally different shopping strategies. All right. And let's pull that in. Hi, is Limbuzz to credit acceptance? No, Limbuzz is not credit acceptance. I don't believe they are. I think Limbuzz is a startup. They recently started that company a couple of years ago. Vince, I have a 2013 Volkswagen Jetta. Oh, it's 6,000 negative equity, low credit score. Can I sell it and get a new truck? First thing you want to do is the equity assessment, because I don't know where you're coming up with that 6,000 negative equity number. There's only 3 ways to get out of negative. There's only 3 things you can do for all of you who have negative equity. 3 things. And most of you should be transitioning to a lease because the cause of your negative equity is not leasing, but trading in cars. Look, when you trade in your cars or replace your cars in this cycle while you still have a loan, that's the formula for negative equity. Because you lost so much value, but your loan didn't get, your loan's still moving like this, creeping, but your car's value drops like a rock. So 3 things you can do with negative equity. You can either get the bids, call your bank, get your payoff. Then you're going to get the bids from the highest bidders. Kelly's Blue Book, Instant Cash Offer, CarMax, Driveway, Carvana, AutoNation, Sell My Car, and Car Guru, Sell My Car. 6 bids, 3 from local dealers and 3 from online car buyers. That's done in like 20 minutes. That's our equity assessment process. See, we're bidding out to see the most money someone will pay for our car. We're not going to a website, putting in 3 things and, oh, your car's worth $30,000. That means 0. It's trash. We are going through these 5-minute appraisals, telling them about our car, and then getting offers. Then we see where our negative equity is. Now, whatever your negative equity there is, that's the smallest amount you're going to have. I would pay the difference. If I had the cash, that is what I would be doing, paying the difference. Because when you can't pay the difference, you must now trade. This is the only time we trade. The only time we trade a car is when we have negative equity, because we need the dealer who we buy the car from to wrap our negative equity into our new deal. So that's the only time. So if we can't pay the difference after we do the equity assessment, now we're going to now look for our new car. Let's put our old car on hold. I saw my equity, negative equity. I can't pay the difference. Now I'm going to move in to shopping for my replacement car. Once you get your bids, now you look up and you say, okay, this is the dealer that's going to sell me the new car for the lowest price. Now, once you find that, now you're bringing your car over and you're asking them, hey, what could you guys pay me for this? I'm going to add this car to the deal, or have them look at the car, because now don't expect them. You're going to have a higher amount of negative equity because they're not going to be able to beat the highest offer. If CarMax was the highest offer, they were paying you 20 grand. The dealer who wins your business is not going to pay you 20 grand. It's not worth that to them. They might give you 17. They might give you 18. So don't say, oh, well, CarMax was going to give me this. That's why I told you step 1 is to pay the difference, because those are the highest offers we're going to get. Then if you can't, you bring your car over. But if you have too much negative equity, you're going to have to, you can't do that deal. You can't slap 10 grand of negative equity on a $30,000 car. The bank won't approve it. It's something called loan to value ratios. So when the bank sees, okay, this car is worth 30,000, they're buying, but they're asking us to lend them 40,000. Why? We're not going to do that. You can have a 900 credit score. That's why I call negative equity the bad credit for people with good credit. Because too much negative equity, you'll leave with no car. The bank can't do it unless you put money down. These are also the only scenarios where you must put money down. You can't do a no money down deal, because they're telling you the bank won't approve all of that. So in order for you to get this approval, you got to come up with like 3 grand, because you have too much negative equity. But you still need to bid out who you're getting the car from, because if you bid out, now pay attention here, very important. When you get bids on who you're getting the car from, you never know if that car has rebates on it. You never know if you're going to get how much of a below market deal you're going to get. And the more below market deals you get, the more room you have to bring negative equity over. See, if someone's buying a $40,000 car, but they got it for 35, let's use Tiffany, for example. Let's use Tiffany. This is a perfect example, and I've never done this before, but I'm glad. So Tiffany bought a $44,000 vehicle. She got it for 65. She got 6,500 off. So now the bank will lend usually with good credit, 20% above that MSRP. So if her car was $44,000, the bank will lend an additional $9,000 above that number, above the 44. So she got such a good deal. She got the vehicle for 38,000. Let's just say, for an example, she had $8,000 of negative equity she wanted to bring over, and she wanted to do no money down. She'd still be under the loan to value ratios because she got such a deep discount. See, the loan to value ratios doesn't change. If she got a $10,000 discount, that gives her more room if she had a bunch of negative equity. So if you don't know how to shop and get bids for the new car to save all the money, you're really eliminating any, possibility you have to bring over a good amount of negative equity because you are just not getting enough off the car to make it make sense. So that's why even when you have negative equity, if you can't pay the difference between the car and the online bidders, you still want to take the second part, which is getting bids for whoever's going to sell you the car seriously, because if you don't get a good discount and you try to slap all that negative equity over, they're not going to allow it. And then you're stuck. Or you're not stuck, you just need to stay in that car and pay down the balance more. So those are the solutions for negative equity. And then the biggest thing is stay out of it. Stop buying cars that you're not keeping 8 years. Start getting great lease deals like we teach, and you won't have this problem. Everything we talk about, y'all, is in my new book, Cars from Home, 7 Steps to Saving Time, Money, and Avoiding Dealerships. It's everything I teach in a step-by-step way. Lease deals, selling cars, selling leases, getting new cars, getting used cars, bad credit, high mileage drivers, all in there, broken down into 7 steps for different types of people. So it's normally $97, but I'm gonna post the link in the comments for you guys on Facebook. All right, and YouTube, there's the comment for you. And if you're on Instagram or if you're on TikTok, it's in my bio. You click that link. As long as that timer didn't hit 0 yet, you got your 75% off. You can get yours for $24. And this is what we do all day long. Insider strategies, get through as many as we can. We've been on for about an hour and 15 minutes, so we'll wrap for today. When you see the rebroadcast, make sure you tell your friends about it. We rebroadcast these shows all day long, so even if they couldn't join us live, they can get value from the rebroadcast. All right, I'll see y'all in the next stream. Shout out to y'all. Have a great evening. God bless you.